back, everybody. This is Volleyball, the Tuesday after. I'm Jason DeVillas. Thanks for coming back to the show. Today we have a star-studded lineup. We are going to cover Huntington Beach. So much happened this weekend. The NCAA's Final Four and Finals came Thursday and Saturday. Ohio State being the winner absolutely murked through the competition with tough jump serves and out-of-system triple blocks. Where they beat Hawaii and they beat BYU in the finals. The NCAA college beach volleyball finals happened. USC reigned supreme, but not by a margin in which everyone expected. Pepperdine played them tough, and they won three pairs to two and the 5-pair whatever. And I can go on and on about indoor volleyball and this and that, but this is a huge long episode, so I'm going to probably talk about indoor volleyball and that in another one. Some of my guests today live. I have Betsi Flint. She finished second in the AVP tournament. Lost to Dan Hochevar. Her and Kelly Larson played absolute lights out volleyball all the way to the end, beating many of the teams by as many as 8 points. And one of the sets over April Ross and Pavlik was 21-7. So. As was Dan Hochevar, who played lights out going into the finals. So Fire and Ice met the Tornado, and the Tornado won. And congratulations to Dan Hochevar for the women's side. For the men's side, I'm going to be interviewing Ryan Doherty later on in this tubecast, and Ryan Doherty was runner-up. He and John, and his new partner and new best bud, John Hayden. Finished second at Huntington. They lost in the winner's bracket to Dalhauser and Lucena. Eventually worked it through the contenders bracket, came and made it all the way back to the finals, and lost to the subsequent champions, Nick Lucena and Dalhauser. And interviewing Nick Lucena later too. And congratulations to them for their success. And I think at some point he'll get over that hump. But let's not waste time. I'm going to get to Betsi Flint first, and then from there I have a slew of on-site interviews where I'm just going to go one right after the other. And in that slew of on-site interviews is Trevor Crabb, I have Nick Lucena, I have Ed Ratledge, I have Tim Bomgren, I have Ty Loomis. And I just asked them a bunch of questions. One of the questions, of course, my own question for each of them was their thoughts about the new rules implemented for the AVP that started in Chicago. Basically, when it's match point, there's a scoring freeze. You have to be the serving team to score. And also, let's serve rule when it goes over, it's a replay. So those are the only two rules that I'm aware of that were implemented, and this is the second tournament. So in addition to a slew of questions I asked them, I made sure I asked each of them. It was included but not limited to that. So hey, let's go. All right, we're back, and joining me right now is Betsi Flint. She actually won 2015 Cincinnati Open, also won a Norseca Open tournament, and currently finished second place in the Huntington Open. Betsi, hi, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Well, let's get to the nitty gritty because I can talk all day, but I got like a few fan questions. People asked me to ask you, so let's start with me a little bit. I want you to take us back to the finals. You're at 19 up or 2019. Walk me through that.
I honestly don't even remember what happened at 19 all, but I know they got 20, and that was a bummer because it froze the score. So it's going to be harder for us to earn a real point. But yeah, I think Brittany and Emily played amazing in the finals in Huntington. They just played really clean volleyball, and Kelly and I could have made our side a little cleaner, but I mean, hats off to them. They played really well.
I think I could speak for a lot of people when I say both teams. You and Dan Hochevar played lights out volleyball the entire tournament. There were some games you were just dominant, some games you managed, and there's some games you just ran roughshod over the opponents, and the scores were near identical except that once, one of their matches went to 3. So, all right, so that's one of those things. Let's get to the fan question for a second. How's playing at Huntington different from the other venues in the AVP? Do you find the sand easier to move through or more difficult?
Yeah, I mean, the sand's a little shallower than what we're used to training in. We train in Hermosa, so it's deep sand, a little harder to move in. It was dustier, but I mean, it's comparable to what we play in most of the time, but we train in deeper sand, so it definitely feels easier going to like Huntington or places that you can jump and move a little easier. All
right, cool. Here's another question. Stylistically, which team presents the most problems for you? When you're in a tournament, who do you look at? You look at Kelly and you point at them and you say, "All right, that's the problem we gotta fix." Who are we talking about? Stylistically.
I think we get excited and we take things as a challenge, which is good. We get excited to play like April Ross, and if Terry were there, we'd be excited to play her. I think it's just a mentality thing. I think, our first match was really tight. We always go to 3 with Kendra. She was a good player, but we just always know that's going to be a long match. So something to mentally prepare for. But I think for the most part, we've been doing a good job of just taking teams as a challenge, no matter who they are, and just focusing more on our side than what the other team brings.
Okay, all right. Now it's back to my question. This is your second tournament under the new rules implemented by the AVP, and I wanted to know if your thoughts, if anything, differently, positively or negatively. If you're still okay with it, or is it something that drags out? I've talked to many of the players, and they're kind of down the middle on this. And your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not one way or the other. It's not a huge deal. It's nice to obviously align with the FIVB, but I mean it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing. It doesn't change the game a whole lot. It makes some of our matches a little longer. I like that we're allowed to have a let score, just not on match point. That makes sense. I like that. I think sometimes it drags on when you're up by a lot, and it takes a while to score a real point. I don't think it's too exciting for the fans at that point. But yeah, I'm kind of down the middle too. I don't prefer one way or the other. I'm just there to play volleyball.
Cool. That's my kind of player. In the beginning I didn't like it, but actually seeing it live, I became a little lukewarm to it. I've seen John Mayer have to go a third set, being up 20-17, and almost lose the match to the Bomgrens. And then I've seen Stafford Slick and Billy Allen serve what looked like an ace, but it hit the tape, and it took the refs pretty much the entire transition between the next whistle. They were about to blow the whistle on the next play. They totally forgotten, and someone in the crowd, me, was like, "It's a replay," because it was supposed to tie the score at 20 up, and it didn't because it was a replay. All right, so let's talk about expectations for the rest of this year. You obviously have a lot of great momentum, and how do you see yourself carrying this momentum into Austin and the preceding tournaments?
Yeah, we're excited. The AVPs are fairly close together this year. I think last year they're kind of spread apart. Mm-hmm. So carry that momentum a little bit. We want to win another AVP. That's obviously the end goal. And multiple if possible, but just playing it one turn at a time, and then continuing to work on playing internationally. We have built the goal to go to the Olympics, so we gotta work our way on the world tour.
Cool. How was the Caymans? You took third out there. How was that? How was the environment?
Sorry, the environment where?
You played Norseca. Please correct.
Yeah.
Where was that?
We played in La Paz, Mexico, and Cayman Islands.
Okay.
They're both. I think both of them are pretty good sand base. A lot of people from La Paz just like made some night matches, and everyone's walking by and watching. And came in. It was a lot of fun too. Super humid, really hot.
Well, that's why you can have the night matches. You know, I mean, it's desert weather in California. You usually don't have those out here, but New York, we have night lights. But okay.
Yeah.
All right, and my last question, which you kind of led into and alluded to, that I kind of I'm coming back full circle. 2020, Betsi, what's up? 2020.
Yeah, that's our goal. Kelly and I are, striving for that. We have a lot of steps to take in between that, but that's definitely our goal, and we're working hard every day, like in the gym, on the sand. That's the goal.
Good. I hope to see you there, and I speak for many, and I really, really want to thank you for your time, okay? Thanks so much for talking.
Right. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Betsi Flint, and her and her partner Kelly Larson, of course, finished second place at the Huntington Open, and they looked terrific. They ran roughshod pretty much score-wise over almost everyone, and one of the scores it was ridiculous. It was like it was it was a sacking, if you will. There we go. Cutting off that phone call. One of the games is like 21-7 against April Ross and Pavlik, and they won the second set 21-19. But the thing I like about this team is that when they make it rain, they make it pour. They are relentless. If they're up on you, they don't take their foot off the gas. If you want to lose 21-7, fine, lose 21-7, lose 21-11. That's the killer instinct I'd like to see in a lot of these AVP teams, especially the women's teams. More importantly, this is probably the last few episodes. Is probably my third interview with Betsi, and twice with Kelly. In the last 4 episodes is because I think they deserve a name. I think they deserve to be out there just as much, if not more, than some of the other women. They're young. They were the best young team in 2015. Again, won Cincinnati. They only have an upside. You look at some players and you're like, okay, that's as high as they're gonna get, or that's their ceiling. These two young ladies don't have a ceiling yet. And they're good for the sport. They're nice. They're killers on the court. Their team fire are nice, and I want to see their name out there a little bit more as they continue to win and perhaps go into 2020. Okay, joining me today is the multiple-time AVP champion, also finished numerous second times internationally as well, and has won the NVL title, and has finished second over the weekend in Huntington Beach, California, with his partner, his new partner, and his new BFF, John Hayden. With me is the Avatar, Ryan Doherty. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
Cool, man. Well, let's let's get to the nitty-gritty a little bit. Let's talk about this weekend. I thought you had a very, very successful tournament. You basically only lost to one team the entire tournament. You lost to Lucena and Dahlhauser in the winners bracket, and then you worked your way back into the finals. I want you to just tell me your thoughts. Take me on this journey a little bit that led up to the finals.
This tournament was pretty stacked. All the best male teams in the country were there. We did not have an easy road as a 7 seed, so having to play Casey Patterson, Nick and Phil, Trevor and Rosie, Jake and Taylor, and then Nick and Phil again. Not a dream draw by any stretch of the imagination, but we worked pretty hard. We played some good matches, and we got a couple breaks that got us through to the finals.
Very, very good. So listen, tell me. I asked. I just previously spoke to Betsi Flint, who also made it to the finals, and I asked her, and I'm gonna ask you the same question. How's playing at Huntington different from the others, the other venues in the tour, like compared to Manhattan Beach and this and that? Just tell us about the sand difference. Is it easier to move around in Huntington than, let's say, Hermosa, where we're from?
Yeah. So Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, the sand, we call it deep sand. So it's a little bit harder to get out of. It's a little bit harder to move quickly in. Whereas Huntington, it's a little bit more shallow. It's a little bit better for jumping, stuff like that. And Huntington was actually the first beach that I moved to when I moved up to California. So that was kind of the beach that I guess I would say I grew up on. So it's always been a fun one for me. I love playing in Huntington. The pier is pretty iconic. And the event site has been fantastic the past couple of years. So it was really fun to play in. Obviously, would have liked to finish just one spot better than we did, but still all around it was a fantastic event.
That's the goal, I guess. Absolutely. And yeah, you came up on my phone as Tom's River, so I guess we're both East Coast guys. I'm from New York. So my other question is stylistically, and it kind of leads to what you were talking about. Stylistically, which team do you think presents problems, the most problems for you? To me, as a former volleyball player myself, styles make matchups, and there's certain teams that I can beat the teams that beat me. If you understand what I'm saying. So, who comes to mind? I might be asking an obvious question, but I'm asking anyway.
Right, yeah. I mean, obviously, Phil and Nick are, they're kind of the favorites in any domestic tournament that they play. They're playing some really, really sharp ball right now. And a lot of the other top teams, I've had a little bit more success against some teams than others, but, Trevor and Rosie, they're a new team. They're super scrappy, and I don't read Trevor very well while he's blocking. So they're going to be a tough matchup. You get a team like Jason Taylor. Taylor's just he's such a wild card because he's so good on defense that, they can do a lot of really good things. And then, with Casey Patterson and Theo Bruner, Casey can just get as hot as anyone from the service line, and Theo's a fantastic blocker. So, everybody presents their own unique challenges in certain ways, and it would be silly to kind of look past any of those top couple teams. The top 6 teams on the men's side can all take down a tournament. So it's gonna be a fun, interesting year. It's gonna be a lot of work, but the teams that do pull out, they're really gonna have to earn.
Yeah, it's probably why you had 4 different winners last year, right? On the 8 stop tour, right? It was you. There was Dahlhauser and Lucena. There was Gibbon Patterson. There was Billy Allen and Theo Brunner. So. We just might have more of the same this year. I'm actually optimistic, if not hopeful. You're probably going to win the next one. That's my prediction. What do I know? Let's talk about this. The rule changes. This is the second tournament after Chicago that you guys are playing under the new implemented rule changes by the AVP, and I wanted to know your thoughts on. If you feel like they're slowing down the game, if they're exciting for the game, they speed up the game. Are you lukewarm to the whole thing? Do you don't care or not care? Thoughts?
Right, yeah, I'm not the guy who's the most adamant about it for one way or the other. I think that their change for the let serve rule only counts on match points, so you can't end a match on a triple A's, but you can get triple A's throughout the games. I think that's a good addition just because it keeps the flow of the game a little better. If you're, constantly tape serving and reserving the balls, it kind of puts a little bit of a hindrance in the flow of how everything kind of works. And then, the last couple of points, freezing at match point definitely changes the dynamic of the game and kind of some different incentives. If you're losing, there's really no reason not to go out there and bomb your serve at the end, as opposed to, traditional rally scoring. Well, you bomb your serve and miss, the game's over. So it changed it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and wait a little bit longer and kind of play in some more tournaments before I decide whether I'm really opposed to it or really in favor of it.
Yeah, my first take was I didn't like it, but after going to Huntington, which by the way was the best Huntington tournament I've seen in 5 years, just every single match meant something. It was exciting. It was so much at stake, and you could feel the electricity in the air. But now after seeing it, I want to be like Ryan. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait till the jury's out on this one. And yeah, in that respect, I'll definitely be like you. Last question, and thanks for staying with me. Expectations, Ryan, for 2020. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's everybody loves talking about the Olympics. That's our favorite topic of conversation as beach volleyball players. And you know what? For me, though, the Olympics has always been something that if you are selected to represent your country, it is an honor and a privilege, and I would be incredibly proud and humbled to represent the U.S., but that is not going to be a goal of mine. My goal is to continue to develop and to try to win some AVP titles and to really put together good seasons on our domestic tour. And if it does happen that I become one of the best in the U.S. and get to represent our country in Tokyo, I will wear that badge of pride, but I can't say that that's a 100% goal of mine. My goal is to simply get as good as I can be in beach volleyball, and where that takes me is anyone's guess.
I like it. Very, very, very honest. I have 3 lightning round questions.
All right, fire away.
You see me do this with John Mayer, so you're probably ready. Cupcakes or ice cream?
Ice cream, definitely.
Okay. Volleyball team name, You Shall Not Pass or Sets in the City?
Oh, Sets in the City is hilarious. You Shall Not Pass is a little insulting to the team.
Okay, Walking Dead or Big Bang Theory?
Walking Dead. Never seen an episode of Big Bang Theory that I laughed at.
All right, cool. And last question, of course, you might have heard me ask John this, but I'll only ask it onefold. If you could meet someone in the history of time to have dinner with and pick their brain, who would it be?
Ooh, anybody in history? I would probably pick either Martin Luther King Jr., just a fantastic speaker and seems pretty brilliant, or an Albert Einstein, and just kind of pick his brain, see how he views the world. Obviously thought about things very differently from the rest of us.
All right, cool. Hey, Avatar, man, thank you so much for your time, man, and hope to see you out in the tour. I won't be there in Texas, but I will for sure be in all of the tournaments that are in our backyard. We trip, we fall, we're there. Especially since this one's in Hermosa this year, right?
Absolutely. Looking forward to Manhattan and Hermosa.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, brother.
Later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Avatar. That was Ryan Doherty. Great second place finish for the big guy, and he was so close. And next time around, I guarantee that he'll be right back. He'll be full circle, and whether he wins in the finals or loses in the finals, I expect him to see out of the 8-stop tour. I expect to see him in the finals for 5 of those 8. Who knows? Maybe he wins 1, maybe he wins 2, but good guy, wish nothing but the best from. That was Ryan Doherty. Jason DeBase at courtside, Nick Lucena. Good victory over John Hyden and Ryan Doherty.
Thank you.
What were some of the keys of the match? Or some, it's a new partnership, so what were some of the things you were looking for that were the same or different?
We just had to side out at a high level because those guys both side out really well, and Phil got a key block at the end, and then that tough jump serve kind of gives our point. But the whole match was tight, back and forth. I don't think anyone had a lead bigger than 2 points. So.
Cool. So this is the second tournament with the implemented rule changes, the scoring freeze and the let serve rule. Has that had that much of effect? Did you find some of the match points being a little bit longer, or?
This tournament, no. In Chicago, yes. And I'm not a fan of it. I think most players aren't, and Donald's probably not going to be happy I said that, but
that's okay. You're your own person. You have your own opinion.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but it's just, but change is always tough. So I just wish if AVP is going to change it, then the whole world changes it. It's kind of tough. Play one way and then all of a sudden you have to play a different way, but that's how it is, and either way.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again for getting to the semifinals.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Jason DeVere's here with Ed Ratledge. Ed Ratledge you came out of the qualifier with Eric Zahn, came all the way up, had a very exciting match yesterday against Brunner and Patterson, and an even better one against Rosie or whatever. Your thoughts about just about Huntington this year and how it compares to last year?
It's the toughest event in years in terms of the field. Like, every good team in America is here, and it's by far and away the deepest, hardest qualifier I've ever seen.
It was the gladiator pits. You got McCulloch and Rafa didn't even. Round two was
one seed goes out in their first round. That's tough to a team that's legitimate. Team that could take sevenths and better out here in the main draw.
Absolutely.
That didn't even make it in, with my boys, Ben Vaught and Brandon Clemens, taking them down.
How cool was that, having them and you?
So I qualified in.
Okay.
And I'm like, sweet. I looked it up. It's my 160th event.
Timeout.
I'm like, sweet. Okay, I made it in. Cool. Somebody came over and told me that Ben qualified by beating Reed 15-13. Reed's been to 4 Olympics. Kane just represented Canada.
Gold medalist,
I heard that my boy that I've been training with and coaching for the last, 6 to 8 months. Thanks, Todd.
That's Ty Tremblay, guys.
What's up, baby?
So
I heard that he made it in, and I jumped up and shouted for joy.
You're like, you gotta be kidding, right?
My son had made it in. Yeah, it was so cool.
Everyone was texting me, asking me, can you tape Ben? Can you tape Ben? Can you tape Ben? And I'm like,
which one's Ben?
Exactly. Who's Ben? I guess we're gonna hear more about him.
He's a stud. He's he's one of the next real good defenders, and he's got the work ethic. He works his butt off, and I saw it.
Awesome.
He helped me get where I'm at today. 6 to 8 months ago, I wasn't in great shape, but he wanted to be out here every day, and I'm like, shoot, I'll get out here every day,
and lo and behold.
Symbiosis, the youngins.
Yeah, it also kept you younger too. Like you said, these are your 160th appearance here. I'm like, when did you start at age 2? But we're close to the same age. Indoor, I played indoor. It wore me out faster than beach could ever wear you out.
I am here. I hate the idea of not being able to walk at age 50.
Exactly. And last question. This is your second tournament with the new rules implemented by the AVP. I just want your thoughts on whether the matches are taking longer, or if it might. Does it cost people games? Do you like the rule? Do you hate it?
I really wish that they had chosen, if they were going to choose one of the rules, take out the lead serve. That was my personal preference.
Agreed.
As somebody who rarely benefits, I feel like I'm usually the one up at the end of a game and then have to deal with the freeze and get that final push. But this time we actually came back against Casey and overturned one that they would have won.
Yep.
So that actually benefited for the first time. I'm like, okay. So.
Okay.
You know what?
It is what it is.
I'm not mad about it. It's with the best intentions. Donald wants to make an exciting game. That's the way he thinks it's best. And you know what? He's the general, and I'm a private here. Maybe I'm a corporal. I don't know. But, I don't know if I'm getting officer grade pay right now.
Listen, I think you deserve to be an E7 sergeant first class. It's not like you haven't put in your dues. It's not like you're not training people. So you gotta have some stripes.
I gotta trust the man that's up there. And
got it. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Ed. Ed Ratledge, everyone. Hey, post-game match contenders bracket. The winners are Rosie and Trevor Crabb. You guys stayed in system very well that game. What were some of the other things that you thought would help you win this match against Ratledge and
It's cold out and windy, and you just got to battle right now. It's early, first tournament of the season. You know, we're still getting our feet under us as a team, and you know these conditions and adds a veteran player. So he made some good blocks early, and I was just swinging low, and he was blocking me. So a couple adjustments, and then took a while for us to score some points. Yeah.
Serving tough for sure. It was that was a game changer. We both ramped up our serves in the towards the second set and into the third, and we got them in trouble a little bit. And that's what.
Perfect. And last question. This is the second AVP tournament where the rules implemented for the scoring freeze, side out, let's serve rule, replay, etc. We know all that. How much do you think that's affected the game? Do you find some of the matches taking a little longer? And
I don't think it affects it too much. It definitely makes it a little longer. But most teams that usually get that first lead, the 14, usually end up winning the match. So it doesn't affect it too much, but it helps. It definitely
makes it good for the crowd.
Yeah,
I think.
Skyball's good for the crowd. I saw the one in New York against the McKibbins. It's 25 up. You had a third set that went 31-29. That was amazing. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Close enough?
Yeah.
Hey, Jason DeBiz from NY Varsity here with Ty Loomis, the original Ty. Welcome, sir. Here we are at Huntington Beach. You main draw with the other Ty Trambler, right?
Yes, sir.
How'd that go? Was that a lot of fun today?
Yeah, it was good. Me and Ty are kind of best friends on tour. So Ty and Tyrone show. We're trying to bring back some WWF style celebrations this weekend and show everyone that it's fun and all about ball control and stuff as well. But yeah, super fun tournament and happy to play at home this weekend. Yes.
Cool. What was one of your more fun matches in the main draw contenders bracket that you enjoyed playing against one of your competition?
Yeah, we only played 3. We went 1 and 2 this weekend, finishing 9th. But I had fun in all of them. I always have fun playing with Ty. He's the best defender on tour, basically. And he's so good at setting on too. So we run quick tempo offenses.
It's also pretty encouraging too. I mean, like as far as emotional highs and lows are concerned, it seems like one of those guys that always keeps you up.
He's a gamer too, so he has a gamer mentality. So he always, before the games, we're always saying, "Let's kill these people."
That's him.
Let's get jacked up. And I like playing with those guys, energy, intensity-wise.
I met him in SOB, so
so he
same
plays.
thing. Got to play with him.
So he plays with all the passion and heart and energy, and that's what I like doing as well. So it's a real good fit, just having fun. Perfect. It's kind of a lack of big guys right now as well, so we're playing together. Probably just for a few tournaments.
It works for you. You got to block
big
some
guys
balls.
Come up around, so don't
you got to throw some down, man.
7-foot wingspan. These rookies don't hit them.
Mine is 6'7", actually. I'm 6'1", and 6'7". So for a couple of unicorns, I need to examine. Last but not least, I wanted to talk. This is the second tournament under the implementation of the new rules.
Yes.
And I wanted your thoughts on whether you think it's elongating some of the matches, is it costing some of the matches, and the level of comfortability of some of the players. Let's talk a little bit about that.
It's still new with everyone, but I really like it.
Okay. All right.
I like it because it makes volleyball players be mental. It really proves to the end which guys are mentally tight and which guys are not. That's a big difference between top level players and lower level players on the tour.
It's probably why
with
all the top level players see
with any other sport, there's gamers and there's non-gamers. Everyone's athletic and can win matches. Who's a gamer and who's not a gamer?
Right.
I like it as well for the fans because no trickle serve can end the game. So you got great. It's going to be a great rally no matter what at the end of the game. It's not going to be a John Hyde and trickle and it's over.
He's celebrating. You're just like.
And yeah, so I like that, but I like the second serve as well. So you can't win on that on the trickle serve when it's a freeze, and it allows the other team to just bomb serves and make a comeback. So people are going for it. It's a real aggressive play. It's good for the crowd because it's more hitting and more serving and jump serving at the end.
More drama.
Yeah, and it can be drama because old school. You you can side out and side out and side out, and you keep ripping the serves, it gives that player a chance to come back. So in normal rally scoring, you can't really come back if you're down 4 or 5 points, but in this scoring, you actually can.
It's a freeze, yeah.
And you know why I think it's the best?
Why?
You're gonna love this.
As an old school player, gotta tell me myself.
Because it's a big FU to someone who didn't play in Chicago last year. That's the reality, too.
Wow.
Put that on YouTube. That's the end.
Todd Loomis, my man. J-Week.
Wrapping up.
Plug week. Hey, Jason DeBeas at courtside with Tim Bomgren. Welcome. And first of all, congratulations on your little one. Congratulations on pretty good tournament. You guys really kicked butt in this one.
Yeah, we had a lot of close ones.
Yep. Yeah. So, what was your favorite match before we get to my last question?
The match before this loss here against Burek and Droz was a good one. Pulled it out 15-13 in the third in Stadium. It was a blast.
You originally had one against the McKibbins. You dropped the first set, and I actually had to cut out after that one because we both have 2 and 5 months olds.
Yes.
What'd you do to come back in that one? Any kind of adjustments?
You know, we felt we were playing good. We just had a couple stupid errors on our side in the first game that let it slip away. And besides that, we played really well, and we were able to pull out a couple points down the end. I think we got a block to win it. It was awesome.
Cool. And last but not least, so this is your second tournament with the implemented rule change about let's serve on match point and being the side out scoring, being the serving team. What is your thoughts? Talk to me a little bit how you feel about it. If you feel it's taking longer, if it's a good rule, a good something that challenges the players. Thoughts?
To be honest, I like it. Especially the no trickle rule on match point. I think that's huge. I think that's a dumb way to lose or win. The other one being the stoppage point, freeze point, which actually really helped us a couple times this weekend. But I'm enjoying that rule as of right now. I think it helps the fans. It gives them a little more volleyball. It's a little different edge. I don't mind it. I like it.
Great. And will you be at the what's that tournament in Oshkosh? What's it called again? Boat ride.
Boat ride.
Will you be there?
We'll be there.
All right, great. Jason DeBeas, I'm out. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Tim
Jason.
Bomgren.
Okay, and joining me is the former middle blocker and outside hitter for Pacific University. He's a longtime assistant coach for the men's and women's team in Santa Cruz, who eventually became the men's coach, where he earned AVCA Coach of the Year in 2015. He is currently the assistant coach at USC for Jeff Nygaard. I got Todd Hollenbeck. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cool, man. Well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I want to talk about your season because you're going to be my indoor guy for this segment. Let's talk about USC. You guys started, I believe, 1-7, and you with the only win over Long Beach State, who won the MPSF, oddly enough. And then all of a sudden, you guys went on this ridiculously strong surge. Todd, what changed?
I think for the first part of the season, we relied a lot on certain players to always produce. As coaches and staff, that wasn't how we looked at it, but I believe that's how the players looked at it. But as the season went on, I think the team started to realize that every single one of them played a unique role on the team, and they needed to do their job. And once they started doing that to the best of their ability, it kind of became a galvanizing factor that everybody could play, no matter who was coming off the bench, no matter what the situation, that if everyone did their job as a unit and held themselves accountable and responsible, that we could beat any opponent. As you can see, definitely, if you look at all the stats, a lot of the games, there were different athletes that came in and played huge roles for us, whether it was just for a game and a half, and they came in and helped us beat, Pepperdine, or they came in and served 1 or 2 balls that gave us the edge we needed to beat Northridge at Northridge.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of started to understand what they meant to the team, and it kind of brought everything together for that final push.
Outstanding. You know, in the beginning of this diatribe, you sounded a little bit like Bill Belichick. You know, like just don't try to do more, just do your job.
Yeah. I get paid a lot of money for a reason. You know?
There you have it. All right, we're going to bounce back to USC in a minute, but I'd like to jump off and circle back. I wanted to talk to you, and I had a little bit of a conversation with you in the recent past about division realignment. Let's talk about your sentiments about that and what it means to West Coast volleyball. I guess just Division I, Division II volleyball in general.
Well, it's great. I mean, because it shows growth that we're now able to have two conferences out here instead of one giant mega conference. That if you look at, all the teams in the NCAA tournament, I mean, the MPSF is well represented.
Yeah.
And to be able to get an automatic bid for two different conferences was going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Instead of all of us just fighting for one and then getting, possibly one at large,
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've heard, and this is some, kind of breaking news.
I heard, if it's what I think it is.
Yeah. So now but things are different now because Cal Baptist dropped their program yesterday, and I can say that because they posted it on their website, and it's on Facebook, and so that changes things a little bit.
Yeah.
It makes things a little uneasy, especially for any new programs that are trying to go D1 or trying to go D2. To see that happen is not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing. No,
it's not.
I talked to Seydu. He was a 3-year player there when they were NIA, and talked to him from Ghana. He's really disappointed. He's very shocked because that's a place where volleyball and like his religion. He's a very religious guy that he found solace there and through sports. Through that activity. And he was I don't know if you know him. He was a hell of a player. And he's sad. And Mike Hayes, I spoke to some people, Mike Hayes, who's following them avidly, and yeah, that stinks. So I guess my question is, you gotta educate me on something. If there's gonna be two conferences, does that mean the six? Are there still 6 teams for the NCAA playoff format, or do you think?
Yeah, there's only 6 teams, and so we're trying to battle for 8 teams. But they need more growth in the sport. It's just like what happened, when Division III men's volleyball was trying to get its own NCAA tournament. They needed more teams.
Oh yeah,
This is definitely a blow towards. They're not going to give us more teams that get to go to the NCAA tournament if we're losing teams.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's a big blow. I mean, but I know a lot of other schools are starting to. I forgot the name. I saw it on Facebook recently, but. Starting in some D2 programs because it is fairly simple. Like if you have a D2 women's volleyball team, that means you already have the gym, you already have the net. All you need to do is buy different balls, different jerseys, and hire a coach, and create a budget. For the same time, a lot of those D2 schools are perfectly fitted for that.
Yeah.
Or that the women's coach could do the men's and the women's team. Therefore, they don't even have to get a new coach.
Yeah,
like
Grand Canyon.
More money.
Yeah, like Grand Canyon, I believe, right? They're.
No, I think they're separate now because they went D1. That might have been how it used to be.
Okay.
But I think they have separate head coaches now.
All right, and Concordia is Concordia 2. They're Division 2.
Yeah, they're Division 2, and then Cal Baptist was D2.
Right. All right. Okay, so that's some pretty good news and sad news at the same time. Now we'll circle back as far as expectations for next year. Without stating the obvious, of course, you want to be better than you were the year before and better than you were the year before. What are some of your expectations off the court and translating on the court, where you think your team's going to get better?
Well, we've got a really, really great class of kids coming in. I mean, we got 10 freshmen coming in. And, a lot of these kids are straight from the youth national team.
Yeah.
So they already have kind of this next level mentality because they know what it takes to play. And they got silver we have 3 kids coming directly from there. They got silver in Cuba, and they're gearing up to go to Bahrain I believe, to play next.
Yeah.
I forgot off the top of my head.
Okay.
But so, by the time those kids come in, they're going to be able to hit the ground running for those three especially. And then we got some other kids that, I think could make giant difference for us in terms of having some new talent, but also, continuing the mentality that we have set forth and have been talking to them about since we started to recruit them.
Right.
I mean, a lot of these other kids we did recruit, which is fine, and they're improving every single day, but it's also good to bring in kind of your own reinforcements.
Yep. Is that what Lucas Lazone would be an example of that too? A freshman opposite that you guys put in the middle of the season?
I don't think Jeff, because Jeff was on staff,
Mm-hmm.
but the previous coach did a lot of the recruiting,
Mm-hmm.
and so as much as I know who Lucas Lazone is and Jeff does, they were all new kind of, and we were able to talk with them quite a bit since we already knew they were coming in, but we didn't start the recruiting process with them, and I think that's the most important part is when you start recruiting a kid and you nurture that relationship, it's much more of a bond than the kid's already committed because the other coach got them to commit.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a different relationship to start, but then they'll slowly get in the groove. And Lucas came in at a key point in the season and did some really great things for us. Provided some stability on the right side that we'd kind of been going up and down with. So he's definitely an up and comer, and depending on the gains he makes over the summer in the weight room and everything like that, we'll see how he comes back in the fall. But he's also a really big beach guy. I know he does A1 stuff for like the U21 sand team.
Yeah, well, I've been following. I live pretty close to Redondo High School, and when I moved here, I watched him play opposite for Duncan Avery, and I watched him play a little bit of beach for the NVL because I was doing color commentary and play-by-play for the NVL, and so he's one of those guys that I was just that was kind of an off-the-wall, just a curiosity question, as like how's my guy doing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so before we go, I have 3 lightning round questions for you, just for a little fun.
Okay.
All right, here we go. A good team name: Sets in the City or You Shall Not Pass?
Wow. Yeah, You Shall Not Pass.
The way you said it too, you sound like Gandalf, for Christ's sakes. Cupcakes or ice cream?
I gave up dessert, so I don't eat that anymore.
Oh, you got off the hook, man. What? Big Bang Theory or The Walking Dead?
Oh, The Walking Dead. Get out of here with that Big Bang Theory stuff. I can't stand it.
Okay, now if you in the history of time could have dinner and talk to and pick his brain, any person in the history of time, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I'd have to say, I'd probably say. Man, in terms of what I can learn towards my career, absolutely.
Well, you already met Jesus this weekend, last weekend. I think you got to play doubles with him.
I probably want to sit down and actually really talk with Crabb.
Okay.
The guy had done so much for the sport.
Oh, Crabb is guy.
I kind of fell in love with and would want to pick his brain about stuff because he has a way of doing things that's very different. But in terms of like a historical figure that was like probably passed away, George Washington I think would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Because he's the OG. He
was
there when it all started, all went down.
Hairstyle was banging too. Come on.
He was one of those guys that they asked him to be like the king of the United States, and he turned it down. And I would want to ask him why.
Oh, maybe he saw the future. Poor guy. All right, so Todd, listen, thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you on the beach a little bit. Take a break from that before you come back from UFC. All right.
Talk to you later, Jason. Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Todd Hollenbeck. He's a very strong assistant coach for USC. that man's stars on the rise. That man, listen, if he's heading up USC in a year or two, I wouldn't be surprised. If he's heading up somewhere else, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a very capable coach, and everywhere he's coached, they've won. So, and that's a huge pet. As a coach for 19 years myself, that's a huge pet peeve for me. I know some people have star power, and I know some people are famous, and I know some people get to jump the line because they're good players. And I kind of have a problem with that, but the problem is usually negated by winning. There's something to be said about winning. You know, like if you have a job, and I was telling myself, I said, what the hell qualifies you to be the head coach of that team and this and that, and you're winning? Guess what, man? Again, gotta wash the crow down with this. So. He's one of these guys that's going to come up, so I'll listen for that name. I also had the pleasure of watching him playing the AVP, so you can go on my NY Varsity Sports or whatever. He played against Dylan Marek and whomever his partner was, I forgot. And Todd's partner was Dylan Holland, so it was basically the battle of the Dylans. Hey, welcome back to the segment of True or False, where I take a whole bunch of questions where you ask me if it's true or false, and I just say true and false or whatever. This time around, I seem to have a slew of just questions instead of true and false, so I guess I'll just go through them one at a time like I do every week. Okay, true or false? The new rules implemented by the AVP will be gone by season's end. False. Come on, they're stubborn like that. No, that's gonna stay. True or false? There will be at least 3 partner switches before season's end. That's true. That's an easy question. You let me off the hook, and thanks. Question: who has and will benefit the most from the new partner shakeups? In other words, who I think is the best new team. I gotta go with Patterson and Brunner. Their energy level is off the page. Brunner's one of the best blockers no one talks about. Casey Patterson's a sick defender. Plays the same in all conditions. A windy day is actually a lot. He plays just as good or if not better than most. And they made the semifinals. And they had a tough stretch getting out of the contenders bracket, which probably stabbed their gas tank a little bit, but you'd never know because they still look like they had full energy. So I do like Doherty and Hayden. I do like Mayer and Case Beer, though that might be the some would consider that the weakest new partner deal. But I guess that's one of those things we're gonna have to wait and see. But for now. Reserve the right to change my mind. Patterson and Brunner. Question. What's in the glass? Seriously. Oh, all kinds of stuff. Next question. With Cal Baptist getting rid of their program, who do you think is next on the NCAA chopping block? Ooh, maybe I should chicken out and just single out a Carolinas or East Coast team. Lees McRae, Quincy. I don't know. I mean, Pacific lost their program. East Stroudsburg had a good program. A slew of D2 teams on the East Coast. LIU, Southampton, Concordia. Queens College, they all had pretty good programs. They all lost their programs. Southampton didn't even have a campus anymore. Let's say, I think the one most likely is Grand Canyon. I mean, not most likely, but I think all of the programs are pretty solid. Even though Cal Baptist seemed like it was pretty solid too. So nothing's for sure. Really hard to answer that question, and it's really lazy for me to say Grand Canyon, but that's my answer. Okay, what else? True or false? Ryan Doherty and John Hayden will win an AVP tournament this year. That is true. That is true. Listen, just get a baseball bat. Get one of those, get a Louisville Slugger. Just take it to one of Dahlhauser's knees, and you got yourself an AVP first. Just kidding. Just kidding, Lucena. Just kidding, Phil. Yeah, I think they'll win. I think right now they are only losing to top tier teams, and sooner or later, they're as elite athletes and just high IQ volleyball player like John Hyden, they're gonna figure that out. And that's that. Why is the AVP keeping this rule change? I don't know. I do know that the players collectively seem to be offering the illusion of a united front. My theory is that the AVP brass basically had a meeting with the players and say, hey, listen, we have to seem united in light of the fact of all the other variables that have come into play the last few months. So we have to seem united on basically everything. But that's my theory, and if my theory is correct, I think that's stupid, because you should be united on a whole bunch of things. Players sticking together and AVP staying united, but rule changes, I think you're allowed to disagree with a rule change and still love the AVP. Grow up, okay? We're not overage frat boys, we're people. You're not going to tell people how to feel or keep their feelings to themselves. They're independent contractors. Grow up. Yeah, like, Lucena doesn't like it. Madison likes it. I spoke to Madison McKibben over the weekend. He likes it. Ty Loomis likes it. So whether you like it or you don't like it is not relevant to showing a united front, okay? That's not, I mean, there's no real logical connection. Just because you don't like that rule. What are you trying to say? You don't like the AVP? No. Stupid. Grow up. What else? What the heck is going on in the AVP? And where are some of the players? Whew, well, I promised my significant other that this would be the shortest episode. So we are going to talk about that next episode. Besides, I don't have a lot of facts to back up some of my theories. A lot of my theories are based on just some facts and just putting them together. And I'm a FYE guy. I'm a for your entertainment guy. I'm not a journalist. I'm not even a reporter that just takes something and parrots it and repeats it and offers the illusion of me being a journalist. But yeah, I mean, this is a sport I love, so I'm gonna be asking some questions. So for those of you listening in, like Kerry Walsh wasn't in a tournament. She wasn't in the AVP tournament. Bill Kalinsky, who's a high level, a high tier player in the AVP, finished in the semifinals in New York 2015. He wasn't there. Summer Ross, who's basically the future of beach volleyball. Not related to April, even though for a long time I thought she was. They had like matching like cheeky smiles. Summer Ross wasn't there. Robbie Page wasn't there. Robbie Page was going to play with Drost, and Kalinsky was going to play with Burek, and Drost and Burek ended up playing together, and that turned out to be a pretty solid relationship for the tournament. So I'm taking a long time not answering the question, but I'm not gonna answer that. I think it has something to do with player contracts. It has something to do with people's disagreement of the new rule implementation, and it has something to do with maybe the players, maybe it has something to do with the players wanting more money. But not touching that until next episode. Who is the new dominant women's team without Kerry Walsh on the tour? To answer that, there is no more dominant women's team in the women's AVP tour, and a lot of people think that hurts women's volleyball because they feel you have to have someone's star power to carry the banner to promote, to have a face for women's volleyball, and in this case, because of all the publicity and because of this whole falling out with Kerry Walsh and everything, don't need to have a dominant or whatever. It's competitive, and now everyone's going to continue to watch more women play, more women teams instead of just following one or two. I myself, I follow Walsh and Ross. I follow Flint and Larson. I followed Sarah Hughes and her partner. I follow Allie McCulloch. So basically, if you weren't Betsi, Sarah, Allie, and anyone whose first name was Kelly, I didn't care. I didn't think the women did enough to save their souls. Certainly the men, many of the men's teams hadn't. So, so to answer that question, the women, yeah, it's up for grabs, and it moves the needle at the same time. True and false, Flint and Larson will win an AVP tournament. That's true. True or false, John Mayer and Jeremy Casebeer will win a tournament. That's false. Let's see. Okay, question. What was your favorite match at a tournament? I saw you at Huntington Beach this weekend. And my favorite match at a tournament, and there were so many. I'll go on record by saying that this is the best Huntington Beach tournament I've seen in 5 years. And only because I've been following Huntington Beach for X amount of time. And there have been some pretty exciting matches, but this season, they take the cake and you can't get a crumb because it was great. First of all, my favorite match, if I had to choose matches, any match that involved Trevor, Crabb, and Sean Rosenthal. The touch, the control blocking, the digging, the relentless pursuit, the long rallies were just amazing. And again, go on to my handle, NY Varsity Sports, and just key in Trevor Crabb or I put TR period Crabb, and Sean Rosenthal, and they're just some amazing matches. Some of them I have just a second set, and some of them are taped in their entirety. But if I had to pick one, wasn't even in the main draw. Nope, wasn't even in the main draw. It was in the qualifier. It was qualifier round 2. It was Kevin McCulloch and Rafu Rodriguez against Reed Pretty and Chameshock or Cameshock. You guys comment or whatever. Let me in on that, okay? That match went to the third set. It was pretty much by the overpass where the pier is, and it was main draw worthy. It was center court worthy, and it inspired even me, who more often than not is uninspirable. And that's my favorite match of the tournament. Is Kerry Walsh suing the AVP? Yeah, that's again. I'd like to talk more about that next week, but that's common knowledge. She's suing for her likeness. She's suing. They promised her $150,000. They didn't give it to her, so she's suing. Okay, so and my opinion on that, it's sure you're supposed to sue. You sue because there's a general principle of you do something because you say you were going to do. You're going to say you're going to give it money, give it money. People just need to be careful about fraud in the case. If you use a lawyer, like if the AVP tells Kerry to sue and if they to get the money that way, that's dicey and the way it can be done is clever, but it's also against the law. What else? Okay, all right, and that's all I have for questions, and that's my segment of true or false, and questions. All right, that's all I have for today. I want to thank all of my guests, especially the ones that took the time to call in for the live interview. I want to thank Betsi Flint. I want to thank Ryan Doherty. I want to thank all the people that gave me the on-site interviews. You guys are really, really chill for that, okay? Thank you all of you at home for watching. This is Volleyball, the Tuesday after. I'm Jason DeBillius. So long.
Transition set, he needs it. Whoa, what a good one-handed dig transition set. That was pretty. Pass, outside hitter's pass. Outside hitter's jumper. Better block by Kevin. What a nice dig by Reed. Free ball situation. Rafu. Jump set, nobody up. Main draw worthy. There's an outside setting.